already been passed. I'm going to turn it to Gail. I'm going to turn it to Tiffany Kabani.
Good morning, y'all.
Good morning.
Always a pleasure to be here with you. I'm going to be super brief because Councilmember Rivera said it very, very well. But I just want to make the connection that implementing this law, if you are serious about public safety, you have to be serious about housing.
That's right.
And not just any kind of housing, but safe, clean, affordable, healthy housing.
Yeah.
Because being housed, having good health, and we know all of the negative health outcomes that come with the things that were mentioned, whether it's vermin, whether it's lead, all of these different things, they have a deep, deep impact on our safety and our health at the individual level, at the family level, at the block level, at the community level.
Right.
So, Mr. Mayor, I don't know what's up, but to remind you, this is the law. The law. And we should be following the law.
Follow the law.
So let's follow the law.
Follow the law. Follow the laws. 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 Follow the laws.
Yes, and we're here to stand with y'all until that gets done, so thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, let's hear from another good friend in the housing movement, Council Member Gail Brewer, also Chair of Oversight and Investigation.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Rivera and Caban. And I want to say a couple of things. First of all, it's really Albany that should be outlawing warehousing. We can't do it locally. So this particular bill, written by many people here, I do love Sue Sussman, but everybody's fabulous, to state that we can at least get the data, and once we have the data, we can at least make sure that the next door folks are safe.
Yes.
Let me give an example. Just the other day, somebody called because they were having construction in the building, and there was a lot of debris because it was a lousy contractor coming into their apartment. Fine. They called the building inspector. It gets worse.
Come on.
They called the building inspector, and it turned out there was a vacant apartment below that had all wires exposed.
Wow.
And the building inspector said this was a vacant apartment. The building inspector shut the entire project down because of the vacant apartment that was illegally showing all of the wires and could in fact be a fire hazard.
That ain't right.
Under this law, that would not have happened because he could have said to 311, this is an illegal warehousing, it's dangerous, and it needs to be shut down. So this is a perfect example of why this law needs to be implemented, not a haphazard building inspector having to go there for something else, which is how they found it. So I'm here to say how important this is because we cannot shut down all of the warehouses. So we know that that local law, which was previously Intro 195 and 22, requires owners to keep unoccupied units in good repair and create 311. That's really important because we need the data. We don't have the data.
That's right.
We think what it is, but we don't actually know it. It should have gone into effect on August 3rd, but it didn't because HPD says they don't have the money. I don't believe it.
That ain't right.
That ain't right.
I don't
That's a bunch of
I don't
lies.
believe that. They had, as Councilmember Rivera said, negotiate. They had plenty of time to plan for the implementation of the funding of Local Law 1. We know 2022 census found that 90,000 stabilized apartments were vacant in 21.
90,000.
That's 1 in 10. 1 in 10 rent stabilized units. 1 in 10. You know what
How the people.
It's very hard to measure warehousing because the data doesn't tell us whether it's rent stabilized due to an owner removing it from the market for another reason. That's why we need the 311 data. We all know property owners are upset with the 2019 fabulous New York State rent stabilized law. We love that law. It has helped so many people. And as a result, these owners are warehousing apartments illegally, to my mind, but not to theirs. And we think that if they're going to get away with this, which they shouldn't, and Albany hopefully will change that, at least we can keep people safe, and we at least could have the data, which is what this law calls for.
You said it.
And also, we know that Frankensteining, even though it's not supposed to happen, does happen. Another place where we can have the information, all based on data. And we know that rent-stabilized units taken off the rental market obviously gives the New Yorkers the opportunity not to have an affordable home. There are also, as we know, units for gas leaks, mold, fire risk. That's exactly what that unit was when the HPD inspector showed up. It was a fire risk, and obviously vermin. And we know, I believe, that sometimes owners intentionally worsen the quality of buildings to increase the vacancy rate so that people will move. That is outrageous, but I know that happens. So, we have, as a result of not action on this bill, tenants are in danger. Sometimes they leave because of the condition next door. It facilitates the evasion of state rent laws, which I have to thank the state legislature and all of you for making the best laws in Albany. I really want to thank you. I can't tell you how much it makes a big difference. And it reduces the number of affordable units for those who need them. As I said, there are perhaps, 90,000 units that are warehoused right now, but we don't really know.
That ain't right.
That ain't right. And it skews the rental market by creating a false sense of what the numbers are and the scarcity. Because really, if you had another 90,000, that would make a big difference. So thank you very much. Implement local law 1. Thank you very much.
Implement the law. Implement the law. Implement the law. Implement the law. Implement the law.
Let's hear from Sam from Communities Resist.
Hi, everybody. Hi, SDSPAW. Hi, Lucha. Hi, my name is Sam Kiera. I'm the Director of Litigation for Communities Resist. We provide legal services to tenants in landlord-tenant disputes, primarily helping groups of tenants bring lawsuits against their landlords for repairs and against harassment and discrimination in Brooklyn and Queens. And I helped to design this bill. I'm very proud of it. I want to pick up on what Councilmember Rivera said. This is really common sense. If there's mold and if there's mold and rats and the broken walls and dangerous conditions in the apartment next to yours, shouldn't you be able to call 311? Yeah, exactly, right? You should be able to call 311 and report the conditions to keep you and your family safe. Exactly. That's all that we're asking for, right? When we made this bill, HPD asked for 210 days before the law went into effect so they could build out their 311 system. What happened, guys, right? Why aren't you doing your job? Implement the law, right? It is very simple, common sense. HPD, all you have to do is build out your system so that tenants who are suffering from living in close proximity to dangerous vacant units can call up 311 and make a complaint, just like you would for any condition in your own apartment or in the building, right? All right, implement the law. Implement the law. Implement the law.
Implement the law. Implement the law.
Implement the law. Implement the law. Implement the law. All right, thanks everybody.
Get the data.
We love Sam. All right, so again, we came together with the administration to negotiate. They asked for a little bit more time to implement the law. We gave them that time. They said we need to build out technology. We did.
Talk is cheap.
We did a study. We checked it out. We did an analysis. We estimated that you maybe need about $150,000 to build up the technology to add a 311 component. $150,000 against a budget of over $111 billion. So I say that because we all know that when you pass a law, you need the resources behind it. We've had that conversation. So we're tired of waiting, and we need HPD to step up. So let me bring another great housing advocate in the city council up, Council Member Eric Bocci.
I really want to thank my great colleagues, Councilmember Rivera, Brewer, Councilmember Devon, for their leadership on this issue. Our tenant protection laws have had loopholes in them. They've had holes in them. And one of those holes is the issue of vacant apartments in buildings, warehouse apartments in buildings that affect everyone else living in a building. We've got fire hazards existing in those buildings, in those apartments full of debris and lumber, rats.